Hi everyone, I'm here to discuss all about implementing stocks in LinkedList. So let's start. Inside the stock as LinkedList class, first we need to create a node reference stock node root. Then we will create a class static class stock node. This class will create a node. Then to create a linked list, we need to create int data and a pointer to the next node stock node next, and inside this class we will create a constructor stock node int data. This will take int data as its parameter. This data we will push in the stack. Inside this constructor, this data equals data. This is a keyword used so we can eliminate the confusion between the class attributes and parameters within the same name. This will pass the data or the value that we will push in the stack to this data. Then we create a boolean isEmpty method. This will check if the stack is empty or not. Inside this method is if root is equal to null. This will check if the root is equals to null. It will return true if true and false if it is false. Now we create the push method. This method is public void, so we don't need to return anything. Stock node new node equals stock node data. This means new node will pass its value to root. Then if false, it will execute the else statement. In else statement, we create another stock node named temp stock node equals root that have the same value as root. The first value of this is null since root is null by default. After passing the value of root to temp, root equals new node, this will pass the value of new node to root. Then new node.next equals temp. This will pass the current value of temp as new node.next. This means new node will point to the value of temp. It will point to the null at first. Then we will go to the main method. Here we will create an object of this class stock as linked list and name it SLL. After creating a new object, we will now push data to the stack. SLL.push10. This will pass to the push method. Now new node will be created with the value of pass data, which is 10. Then test if the root is equal to null. Since the first value root is still null, so if the statement is true, if statement will pass the value to the new node, which is 10 to root equals new node. So the value of root now is 10. Then the data that has been pushed in the stack will be outputted, then pushed to stack. Let's go back to the main method, and SLL push the value of 20. This will push another data to push method that is 20. Now another new node will be created with the value of the current data that was passed, that is 20. So new node is now 20. Root is not a null now since it has a value now, so we proceed to execute else statement. In else statement, it created stock node temp with the value of root. So temp will now become 10. the root equals new node. This will pass the current value of new node in else statement. It created stack node temp with the value of root. Wait. So, sorry. So new node now is 20 and it is now pointing to 10. Then the new data that has been pushed in the stack will be outputted 20 push to stack. Then we push another value, SLL push 30. This will pass 30 to the push method and the same pushing as pushing 20 to stack. New node with the value of the data that was passed, which is now 30, and else statement will be executed since root is not equal to null. Temp equals root. The current value of root, which is 20, will be passed to temp node. So now temp is 20. Then root equals new node. The data of new node will be passed to root. So root is now 30. Then new node.next equals temp. Then new node.next will point the new node to the value of temp, which is 20. So now the node with the data of 30 is pointing to the node within 20. The node within 20 is now pointing to 10. Let's go back to the main method, sll.pop. This will call the pop method. In pop method, we create an integer variable named pop and initialize to the minimum possible value of an integer can have. And then test if the root is null. If root is equal to null, which is false, then we will proceed to execute the else statement. Pop equals root.data, which means that the current data of root, which is 30, will be passed to be pop. Then root equals root.next. This means that root will be now pointing to 20. Since pop method is an int type, it will return something. This pop method will return the data in pop, which is 30. It will be outputted as 30 pop from stack. Then sll.peak. So this will call the peak method. This method will take a peek at the last data in the stack. After calling the peak method, this will test if root is null, which is false because we still have two data in the stack. So we will proceed to execute the else statement. The else statement simply return root.data. This will return the correct value of root, which is 20. And that's all for this video, and hope you learn something from it. I thank you.